Alright, hey everybody, this is Alex again with another deck profile. This time I'm going to be doing Synchro Diva plants. It's been testing very well, both on Dueling Network and in person. I have this deck IRL. And without further ado, let's go over the deck profile. For monsters, we are running 22. One Quick Draw Synchron, 2 Junk Synchron, 1 Unknown Synchron, 1 Sangan, 3 Doppel Warrior, not 2, 3 guys. I needed the non-tuners. Gores, Dark Armed, BLS, 3 Deep Sea Diva, Lost Blue Breaker, a Snowman Eater, 2 Debris Dragon, and Lone Fire, Mystic Tomato, Dandelion, Spore. For spells, we have 10. We have a Pot of Avarice, a Monster Reborn, a Rhoda, 3 tunings. Yes, the search is required. You're running 4 targets. You don't want more than that because you want to make sure you have the right card for the situation, and 3 tunings is just perfect for that. It's better than running the Junk Synchrons that thins the deck. There's a lot of good things about it. Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Duality, because they're all stable. And with the slower format, Duality is way more live in Doppel Warrior. For traps, I have kind of an interesting lineup. I was trying things, and this has worked very well. 2 Dimensional Prison, 1 Solemn Judgment, 2 Solemn Warning, 2 Torrential Tribute, and a Call of the Haunted. This is another one that I'm hesitant about. 90% of the time, I just use it to get back Hyper Librarian. Formula Synchron, or extra deck. Sorry, guys. Formula Synchron, Junk Warrior, Drill Warrior, Junk Berserker, Junk Destroyer, Road Warrior. That is my entire Synchron Synchro lineup. Oh, and a Road Warrior. My non-Synchron stuff accounts for the majority of the deck, or the extra deck. Armory Arm, Hyper Librarian, Catastor, Magical Android, yes, Magical Android, there's a reason. Orient Dragon, Black Rose Dragon, Arcanite Magician, Stardust, and Shooting Stardust. Now, what to talk about first? I think I'll just go down my deck and explain why my numbers are what they are and things like that. So Quick Draw, in this particular variant, like, I'm not running any Level Eaters, I'm not running a Treeborn, I'm not running other stuff that combos out well with Quick Draw, other than after using a Junk Synchron for your plays. That being said, he is a very powerful and important setup card. For instance, you have a Quick Draw Synchron, a Junk Synchron, an Unknown Synchron, and a Doppel Warrior. Now, that gives you so much Synchro toolbox that you pretty much would have to wait until an entire turn in order to get otherwise. It's a really good card to search out with tuning if you need a special summon in the middle of your Librarian play to synchro off a little bit more and gain slightly more card advantage. It's good, but like, say you have those cards in your hand, and you go first. You can pitch Unknown Synchron with Quick Draw, normal summon Junk Synchron, special summon Doppel Warrior, and special summon Unknown Synchron. That means you can go for 5-star with 2 tokens, synchro the token and 1 Unknown Synchron off for a Formula Synchron and get a +1. Synchro off with a Drill Warrior to make a synchro off and make a Drill Warrior, and you have 3 synchros turn 1. You can either make a Stardust to protect your Librarian, or you can play old school with the Drill Warrior and next turn synchro off even more. That's a player preference though. Unknown Synchron, because it's really good. I don't like it at 2 because its effect can only be used once a duel. It's kind of a dead draw. Good though, because like, it's great if your opponent goes first, doesn't set any back row, you special that, and then you start off your turn with a 1-star tuner and a normal summon. So that's pretty good. It lets you combo out into like all sorts of different crazy stuff. Like, you can make Hyper Librarian, and then if you need to, you can build off of that to make an Arcanite Magician. Wouldn't suggest that though. Like, it's really good, but it's not as good as Hyper Librarian is on your field for Synchron decks. Let me see. Sangan, because it searches everything in the deck, pretty much. I mean, it searches everything except Gore's Dark Armed and Blackluster Soldier. Doppel Warrior, I'm running it at 3. I see a lot of people running it at 2, and I can understand why. There's a lot of dead draws with Doppel Warrior, but at the same time, he is your primary, since you can't play Dandy Warrior because Dandy's at 1, he is your primary guy. He is your best non-tuner because he produces tokens, forced to be in attack mode, but tokens. And those tokens just synchro off really well because he makes Hyper Librarian, then you make other stuff. It's just really good. This deck brings out Hyper Librarian like cake. It's like its nature. It's what it does. It special summons itself when I use any of my stuff that gets stuff from the graveyard. Works with my Monster Reborn, it works with my Junk Synchron, it works with my Call of the Haunted, it works with my Debris Dragon, it works with my Spore. Yeah, all the key players in this deck other than Deep Sea Diva, it works well with. Alright, then onto the boss monster section. Gore's, because it's a game changer. Dark Armed Dragon. This card's you need to run because you have so much control over your graveyard. Like, if you have 8 darks in your graveyard, you can potentially still bring out a Dark Armed Dragon through the use of, like, Junk Synchrons and Debris Dragon and Blackluster Soldier and Spore and what have you. Spore with Mystic Tomato. So it is very live all the time. I bring it out a lot of times, turn 1 or turn 2. So even if you draw it late game, it's good, and early game. Blackluster Soldier. This is the most hilarious card in this deck for one reason. I was playing this deck, for like, it's gotta be like 5 or 7 games or something like that. And I kind of just threw it together. And, you know, later when I looked through the deck, and I brought out BLS like 6 out of the 8 games that I played between that time, just through drawing it with, again, Hyper Librarian, because that's the best card in this deck. And I wasn't running any lights in my main deck. Not a single one. Like, I hadn't even noticed. I was just like, well, I'm kind of running low on lights, so I might as well, you know, make an Armory Arm, or make an Arcanite so I can use a Blackluster Soldier after I get the +2 or what have you. And, you know, it wasn't ever an issue. If I ever needed a light, I could just make one. That being said, I was not running Magical Android at the time. I was running Quasar. Now, that's another thing, but I'll talk about that later. Let's see. But yeah, he was live every single game I drew him. Hilariously enough, this deck makes... It has Formula Synchron. It has a lot of light targets in the extra deck. It's got Formula Synchron, it's got Road Warrior, it's got Armory Arm, it's got Magical Android, and it has Arcanite Magician. Like, it has more than enough to compensate for not running any in the main deck. And, like, they're searchable lights. That's what I like about them. It's like, I can get them whenever I need them. It's never dead or anything. And I normally use Magical Android as a stepping stone to make Shooting Star Dragon anyway. So, I don't know. I'll probably put in a Quasar. Maybe take out a Junk Berserker or something. I don't really like that card. The next part of the deck is like a Deep Sea Diva engine. Deep Sea Diva, pretty much the reason it's in here is to either do one of two things. Summon a Deep Sea Diva, special summon a Lost Blue Breaker from the deck, thin the deck, synchro for a Hyper Librarian, sit on that till next turn with with the big trap lineup I have in the back row. Or to have a Hyper Librarian and another card on the field, and summon it, or summon a Diva, special a Diva, synchro with maybe a Sangan or something, or, you know, something like that, and get the search from Sangan, get the draw with Hyper Librarian, and then synchro again and get another draw with Hyper Librarian. It's a free +1, and in the deck it gives you more than a free +1. The only part that I really can't stand about this, there's actually 2 bits that I don't like about Deep Sea Diva. One is it drastically increases the number of tuners that I'm running, which, you know, Synchron decks have a lot of powerful tuners, and blah, blah, blah. You know, that's a minor issue. I just don't like getting tuner bloat where all I draw is tuners. And the other thing is that I have to run an obligatory Lost Blue Breaker. It's an okay card. Like, if I summon Deep Sea Diva and I special it and I already have, for some reason, I'm really scared of a back row, I can just nerf it with Lost Blue Breaker's effect. But most of the time, every time I draw him in my hand, he's completely dead. Like, you could take this engine out and be just fine running, like, Effect Veilers and Thunder Kings and what have you. I don't like drawing him. It's a -1, which kind of makes the +1 from Lost Blue Breaker not really worth it. I don't know. And then I can't even make a Hyper Librarian turn 1 if I draw like this and this. But, you know. No deck is perfectly consistent except Gladiator Beasts. Snowman Eater. I just wanted more targets for Debris Dragon, and Snowman Eater is good this format, so I threw it in. Because, like, I only had 6 without it, and now I have 7. I wish this guy was Debris Dragon targetable, but it's not. Then I have 2 Debris Dragon, because it makes more synchros for Hyper Librarian to plus off of. I like that. Tomato, I'm probably getting close to timeout for Dueling Network. Tomato, because I don't own tour guides and I'm poor. Tomato searches out a good number of things. It searches out Unknown Synchron, it searches out Junk Synchron, it searches out it searches out Sangan, which is normally what I go into. Doppel Warriors, just for more setup. It's good. Not great, but good. I might replace it with, like, a copy plant or something. Dandy, because it combos out well with Quick Draw Synchron and with Debris Synchron. It's also one of the most powerful non-tuner synchrocentric cards that exists, and it also works with Spore, and, like, that's just good. It's a good non-tuner too. It, like, produces tokens, and, like, if it gets milled with tunings or something, it's good. It's not, again, you could replace this. I really like running it. And Spore. If you don't run a Dandy, don't run a Spore. There it is. That means I've been talking for at least 15 minutes. Sorry for the long video, guys. Again, I just like talking about decks. Let's... Diva... Alright. Pot of Avarice, great card, recycles your Librarian, recycles all your synchros, you get draw 2, you can put tuners back in the deck if you have, like, tunings in your hand, kind of essential in the deck. Don't run a quick draw deck without it. Monster Reborn, because of Hyper Librarian, because it's a synchro deck, because it's good. I don't need to explain that. Searchers, this sets up for your getting either any of your combo pieces together in one place with Rhoda. It searches out all your warriors, which is pretty much just 2 Junk Synchrons and a Doppel Warrior, but it thins the deck, so, you know, good. Tuning, now I know this is kind of an expensive card. I think it's going for like 15, but it really helps the deck. It means that you don't have to run like 3 Quick Draw Synchron and 3 Junk Synchron and like 2 Synchron Explorer, because you just will search it. It's good. Gets you combo pieces, same reason as Rhoda. Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, don't need to explain those. Another option for the side deck, to make Deep Sea Divas a little bit more live, in case you draw a Lost Blue Breaker, is Gotchi Gotchi. Just something to think about. Pot of Dualities, because turn 1, you don't ever do anything but sit on what you have, and like turn 4, you don't really sit on, you don't really need to do anything until they do something. And you can't really go anywhere with a lot of things that you have. Deep Prisons, it's just protection. It's really good this format. Gets rid of Thunder Kings. It gets rid of, like, problem cards. It's good. It takes out BLS when it decides to be stupid and attack. Don't need to explain these. They're good. Torrential Tributes and a Call of the Haunted. Like Monster Reborn, the majority of the time I just get back Hyper Librarian. Unless I'm, like, really, really needing to get over something and I need to make, like, a Destroyer or something weird like that. Alright. So on to things that I wanted to put in the deck. Chaos Sorcerer, I just wanted to try it, because, like, having no main deck lights other than BLS, but it still works with BLS, like, every time, so I was thinking about putting it in. And if I did put in Chaos Sorcerer, I would probably also put in Effect Feelers in replace for Deep Sea Divas and Lost Blue Breaker, and maybe a Snowman Eater. And also I would put in Thunder Kings, maybe 2 of each, or 2 or 3 of both, or something. Synchron Explorer, I'm not playing the... this represents the Quick Draw build. For this, I'm not really playing all that many Synchron cards. If I was playing the Quasar build, I would run 3 of this. And I would run 3 Quick Draw, and I would run 2 Unknown Synchrons, and I would run a way different lineup, but I didn't. I ran Junk Doppel. Another thing I want to put in, and I'm thinking that the first update I'm going to make to this deck is to take out a Snowman Eater and put in a Level Eater. Kind of just because it's a Synchron deck, and Level Eater makes more combos. Level Eater would make me Scrap Dragon. Level Eater would be good with Scrap Dragon. Level Eater would be good with Librarian. It would be good with Librarian, and then you bring out a BLS, and then you Level Eat, and... whoops. Then summon Deep Sea Diva, Synchro into a 6, I guess. It's not as important as it was back in the Junk Destroyer format, where everybody was playing Level Eater so that they could combo out even more and make destroyers. I don't know. The next section is here to represent the emergency teleport build. Speedy Steve topped at the UK Nationals with his quick draw deck, so he's kind of an authority on them. He got like top 16 or something like that. He currently runs the E-Tally build. There's good things about the E-Tally build, especially with having 2 Debris Dragons. You can search out Mind Protector, who has 2200 defense, and it's a 3-star and 0 attack, so you can Debris Dragon it, which is kind of really good. It means that if you get dead draws, you can just kind of set Mind Protector. I don't know what Mind Protector's effect even is. This card's controller must pay 500 life points during each of their standby phases. If they cannot destroy this card, monsters with 2,000 or less cannot declare an attack except psychic monsters. So it's pretty good. It's not terrible, but again, it's the same thing as Lost Blue Breaker. It's just a dead draw, kind of. I mean, I can set it if I'm drawing bad, if, like, I get a Gorz, a Dark Armed, and then, like, 3 Doppel Warriors and a Dark Hole or something. I could just set it, and it would be good. There's also the Lightsworn variant. This was good even... you would run a Lila and then 2 Raikou, because it goes well with Junk Synchron to make a Hyper Librarian or to make Black Rose. And in addition, you get pluses, and you can take out their back row, and they have to waste their Solemn Warnings on, like, Lumina. And you get Mill, but, like, I'm not really running enough monsters in order to do that. I just think it's a waste. Honestly, I think this build is too inconsistent to use, especially if you're using Deep Sea Diva. don't use Deep Sea Diva, because this is a deck searcher card, and if you mill like 2 Deep Sea Diva and a Lost Blue Breaker, you're screwed. Although it's not that bad, because you do have Debris Dragon to bring back Deep Sea Diva, and then special that, and well, whatever. These two synchros here, I kind of want to add them, but, like, at the same time, don't really need them. But they're... This guy, Gaia, is a really good stepping stone to make Stardust off of with Deep Sea Diva. Good if you have, like, an Armory Arm, you can summon Diva, go into him, but I guess you could just do that with Orient Dragon. And then this last one here is to represent defense. Like, the deck kinda needs defense. Like, I'm running 2D Prison. I'm running 8 traps, which is, like, way more than Quick Draws normally run, just because of the fact that I want my Librarian to stay safe, because it normally takes about 3 turns of being under Librarian to really confirm that you have game. So I wanted to protect my Librarian with Deep Prisons. I wanted Solemn Judgments and Warnings to stop big monster plays that they might have that I might not be able to deal with. Torrential Tributes, just when they try to spam the field, I'm like, no, Torrential is a really good card. And Call of the Haunted, but I still feel kind of unprotected. I could see myself taking out the 2 dualities, which are good, just for more protection cards, like maybe 2 Bottomless, or something like that, or putting in a 3rd D-Prison. The last one... Alright, I believe that's all. I want a lot of comments on these guys. Last time, I got a really good suggestion from one of my users. I should have written it down. Or one of my subscribers. That, I should put in a Tsukiyomi. Into Lancer Frogs, and that worked out well. Because I can... It's just... I'm not going to talk about that now. My brain is weird about that. Works in the wrong orders. Magical Android, if I pull out BLS, or if I put in more lights in the main deck, like Thunder Kings or Effect Feelers, I may take out Magical Android just in exchange for Shooting Quasar Dragon, because it is really good. I don't know about that, though. I'm liking the way this is testing. We'll see how it does after a little bit more extensive testing. So, yeah, rate, comment, subscribe. Love you guys. If you like this video, thumbs up so I know that I should keep making videos that are a little bit more interesting, like Lancer Frogs and stuff that isn't top tier. Thanks a lot.